This is the best lineup of creatures we've had as of yet. So with the most recent devblog 63, Dondi has spoken a lot. In fact, it was just Dondi himself speaking in the entire devblog. There was loads of interesting points there, and of course, I did cover it, so if you want to watch that video, I'll link it down below in the description. But we're not here to talk about the devblog today, just about a few specific parts. The main one being the next upcoming playables. Some of them that we know, and some of them that are now confirmed to come, that are new to us. There were some speculations, and I'll go into that today, as well as the main point, which is why are they important and why will they actually change the game for the better, specifically them being these playables that are coming, not any other ones. So without further ado, let's just get started.
Oh, I can hear him.
Oh,
I can hear him.
Wait, that's a car. Never mind. So Dondi said specifically, speaking of roster, here's the current order for some of the upcoming playables. Now of course this could change slightly, maybe down the line some of the playables will come together, or maybe one will come before another one, but as of now this is what's coming. Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is currently in horde test as we speak, Allosaurus, which has been confirmed by Dondi in devblog 63 as well about it coming into the same horde test as Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is great, shows that there's been a lot of progress made for Allo. When that is, we don't know. If we're judging that Triceratops horde test was what, just over 3 months? I might be slightly wrong, but I think it was just over 3 months. And there was quite a bit in that horde test, but not as much as the one now, which is with T-Rex, with Elder System, with new implementations as well. So pretty much every playable has something new to offer now because of the Elder System. The map has changed dramatically. These are no small steps, not to mention actually, I almost forgot, upgrading to Unreal Engine 5.6. So this horde test is a complete new version of the game now. So what my point is that it's a much bigger horde test than pretty much any horde test we've ever had, but definitely bigger than at least the one we just had with Triceratops. This means many things, of course. It does mean, unfortunately, it will probably take longer, this horde test, than 3 months. It could be just a few weeks longer, it could be a month, or it could be a few months longer. It could bring us right up to Christmas, because we do usually get an update around Christmas time in December, just before Christmas, if I remember correctly every time. I think even once we got it just after Christmas, which I think was Dilo and Herrera. Do let me know if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was after Christmas, like one of the Christmases. So there's plenty of time for Allosaurus to come. So some obviously hear this, Dondi saying that Allosaurus is going to be in the same horde test and think it's going to come within a week or 2. Don't hold your breath, trust me. If you've been playing this game long enough, you know nothing ever comes that quickly. I personally think the earliest we would see it is in a month's time, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come during that December Christmas kind of time period. And then we'll still have horde tests pretty much going into next year. Maybe the horde test will finish in January or February, who knows? Because Allosaurus itself will probably take a month or 2 off the horde test. Unless something completely changes, that's kind of how it's been going. So I'm just judging on how the past has been to kind of predict the future. But either way, at least we know Allosaurus is the next one. And the reason why this is important, because I've also said plenty of times, I think we should be having Allosaurus before T-Rex, because we need more mid-tier predators, and well, we need an actual mid-tier predator. Carnotaurus was kind of the one, you could say. I've got downsized, not made as good. Yes, it's much better right now, I understand. I'm not speaking about right now, because in horde test, I think Carno's fantastic. I still think it should gain a bit of weight back from its previous version, but either way, it's at least playable now and you can have a lot of fun with it. And to be fair, even if it doesn't gain some of its weight back, I think it does great. But Allosaurus is a true mid-tier, heavier than Carnotaurus, stronger in quite a few other ways. It's of course a great bleeder. It will give Sabadort Rexes a run for its money. Depending on what stage of Sabadort they are, of course, it might be challenging for some Allos when they're a bit bigger. But then again, Allosaurus is a pack hunter. So to quickly clear up this point without me talking for 5 years, Allosaurus is very important to the game due to popularity, probably almost as popular as T-Rex. So again, you're going to be bringing a lot more people into the game and back into the game. It will definitely help round up the mid-tier predator side, since now we've got Carnotaurus and then you got Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is just such a massive jump ahead. It's kind of scary. So Allosaurus will kind of bridge that gap, which is nice. So it coming after T-Rex makes perfect sense. I hope it's not going to be too far away, because we do need it as soon as possible, in my opinion. Next up, we'll have Austroraptor, a small dinosaur that, well, if I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen. If I can't, then you're just going to have to take my word on it. Kiss and Kitten has said it herself that Austroraptor is not going to be really a strong playable. You're not going to really go around hunting with it or fighting other players because it's quite weak. Not that it will be defenseless though. That is what I remember her saying. So it will be able to defend itself in some way. Of course, it's going to be very agile and probably quite quick. I don't really see it impacting the roster that much, to be honest with you, because we have already quite a lot of small tiers. And I don't see Austroraptor really adding much to the game apart from it being a popular playable that people like to play or will want to play, let's say. It looks quite cool. It's different. It's a very beautiful model. I'll definitely jump on it and play it, but I personally don't think I'll play it that much. And I know some of you will hate me for that, but that's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's terrible and it shouldn't come. I'm just saying I don't really feel like it will add much to the roster. And I know it will be semi-aquatic, but I don't believe it will be much because even technically speaking, isn't Parasaurolophus kind of semi-aquatic with it being able to swim a little bit in the water, but it's not like Bape or Dino, right? Now those two are proper semi-aquatics. And I believe Austroraptor will probably be maybe a bit better than Parasaurolophus, but not quite as semi-aquatic. I may be wrong though, we'll see. Kentrosaurus. Now, Kentro is good for 2 reasons, which I'll get onto in a second. But I am quite happy that Kentro is one of the next ones coming. Obviously, we know Kentro was one of the next playables because even when you're looking at this list here, we knew about T-Rex, Allo, Austro, Kentro, Baryonyx, and, well, technically Oviraptor was in the list and then it got switched for, I think, Baryonyx. So we didn't quite know if it was going to come or not, but now it's confirmed that it's coming. But it's not really a new surprise, so yeah. So that's why I'm going to kind of rush through these ones a little bit because most of us know that it was going to be coming. We just didn't know the order necessarily. But again, Kentro I think would be a good one to add after that. Even though I personally would have said Baryonyx would have been better first, as we do need a bit more predators in my opinion. We're quite heavy on the herbivore side. But Kentro's not too big of a threat. Yes, it's not going to be weak. You're probably going to get impaled if you're an Omni and you pounce on it in the wrong way. It's going to be very strong in its defense, quite quick, quicker than Stegos of course, but not too quick that's ridiculous. It will also be replacing Stegosaurus in officials if they're still keeping their promise of Apexes will be only in unofficial servers, but that we'll have to see because there's a lot. I feel like they're probably going to even change Evrima and Legacy and make Evrima the main branch. Once this horde test comes into the main branch, I feel like Evrima will be the main branch. So when you click on the IO and you turn it on, once you've bought it, it will be Evrima. And it would make sense with all these heavy hitters and popular dinosaurs now in game. But anyhow, Kentro is supposedly going to take care of Stegosaurus and be in its place. Obviously, it's a lot smaller, but it'll kind of take that niche. And that's only presuming they're still going to do what they said before, and all Apexes will be in only unofficial servers if unofficials will want to have them in, which of course they will. Why would they not want them in? But I do have a feeling they'll probably change their mind on that and be like, you know what, let's add them into officials too. Unless they're really going to push the narrative of unofficial servers as the way forward, we're not going to really care much about officials. Because they haven't really. I mean, if you're hacking or mix packing or cannibalizing if you're not supposed to, let's say, there's no one there to stop you in official servers, right? There's no admins or anything like that. So it's kind of like a battle royale. You do what you want, how you want, and when you want. Now, Baryonyx. As I mentioned, I would have preferred Baryonyx to come before Kentro because I feel like we need some more predators there. But apart from that, Baryonyx, it's adding a semi-aquatic to the game, which is really needed. Like Austroraptor, I don't believe will be a proper semi-aquatic. Baryonyx, of course, it being a Spinosaurid, it will be a semi-aquatic and a proper one as well. It's another popular playable that people just seem to want in the game, me myself as well. I can't wait to play it. Spinosaurids are actually my favorite. It will give Dino something else to hunt in the water, not just having to rely on being lucky and catching its prey, because obviously the map is so big now compared to Spyro, and so big that the waterways are not even designed really for Dino. They're more designed to be, let's say, kind of realistic. Like, they're not meant to flow because of Dino. Like Spyro, I feel like was kind of built around Deinosuchus. Like, no matter where you'd go, there's a fairly big chance that a Deinosuchus will be there. Some parts are obviously more prominent than others. But Gateway, you have random ponds in the area. Once you learn the map even just a little bit, there's technically no way for you to dehydrate anymore because there's always little pockets of water somewhere, which is great for the land playables. But Deinosuchus kind of is left behind. Yes, you see them a lot at Delta now, and Delta has kind of become a hotspot because of T-Rexes, in Horta specifically I'm talking about now. But that's like the only place. You don't really see Deinosuchus anywhere else. And even then, I cross, and most of the times I will not get snatched by Deinosuchus because people just don't play them as often as they used to. But either way, this will give some more life in the waters, which is really needed. So Baryonyx is definitely welcome. It'll be great for dinos to hunt. And that's not me trying to say that Baryonyx is just going to be some useless worm. Obviously, Barry's probably going to be hunting all the dinos that are going to be playing, that are just trying to grow their fresh spawns, or maybe even a little bit bigger than fresh spawn. Because obviously, you got to remember, dino is an apex. There's not much a Barry can do against a dino, especially when it gets to, and I'm guessing here, maybe 40-50%. It's going to be very hard for a Barry to fight one. Maybe it'll be able to, but I don't think it'll be too great. Then you go past 50%, and the dino is pretty much going to have you. Again, I could be wrong there. That's just a guess for me. Next, we have Oviraptor, which I believe is coming as AI as well as a playable, as well as Avaceratops, which I'm very surprised that we don't have on this list. So maybe Ava's only coming as AI for now, I don't know. But Oviraptor, another one, kind of like Austroraptor. I don't think it's going to really add much to the game. I think it will add much more to the game, it being AI, than it actually just being a playable. And that's not me saying don't use it as a playable. I think it should be there. But again, if its purpose is mainly hunting eggs, you know, you could say players are going to want to be more sneaky. They're going to want to play as a sneaky little worm, you know, just wanting to take your eggs. But then not that many people nest. The nesting has kind of gone downhill for the Isle, especially since Gateway. It already lost quite a lot, even in Spiral when it got introduced. A lot of people done it and played it, but then it was not as easy or easily accessed, you could say, as it was back in Legacy, with the where you could kind of just ask in global chat for egg and then someone would say they have one or not. Obviously in Evrima, you kind of have to be dead already or have no playable in that server to find if there are eggs, unless of course you're on Discord with your friends, but it's very different in Evrima. I still enjoy it, but I feel like Legacy had it done better. So hopefully they bring some sort of system back for that. Oviraptor I feel like is going to work much better if more people nest. So yes, there might be some servers that some of you playing and there's loads of nesters in there and you're probably like thinking you're an idiot. Of course Oviraptor is going to work, but I'm talking for majority of places I've played in, nesting is quite rare. And on top of that, nesting is also usually private. Like I see a nest maybe once a month, maybe twice. That same goes for horde test and outside of horde test. I don't really see many do it. And especially with the Elder system, I thought it was meant to have nesting in place to get Prime Elder, but it doesn't seem that way at the moment. Unless that gets changed, then, well, that just makes it even less of a reason to nest, right? But if that is something you have to do to achieve Prime Elder, then of course, naturally, more people will nest because they kind of have to, right? So there you could say that Oviraptor will have its place, as at least an annoying little bagger. But that's everything that we already knew was coming. Now we're going to move on to the next four. Kama, Quetz, Para, and Spino, which are completely new playables that some people probably guessed right into their coming, because in a lot of dev blogs we've seen quite a lot on these guys, but it was never confirmed, of course. So without further ado, let's get on to these new bad boys. Camarasaurus, the very first sauropod coming into the game. Now I made a video on Camara quite a while ago now, this year, and I did say I kind of don't really care too much about it, like I'm excited the sauropods coming, but I don't care too much. I'd rather something even bigger like Brachiosaurus. But I have to say, I have changed my mind. I'm not afraid to admit it. I was a bit negative on it, but I'm definitely a lot more positive on it now. Its model looks fantastic, the colors look great, and it seems like it's bigger. I don't know if that's just me, but it seems a lot bigger. But I mean, it'll be a great food source until it gets to its full size. It'll probably be very hard for it to die from it being hunted, unless you get a few apexes ganging up on it. But we know that Isle, people don't usually play by themselves, especially when they play herbivores. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Camarasaurus would be probably the king of a herd, or at least maybe 2 or 3 Camas rolling around. So unless there's quite a few apexes coming up against it, it's probably going to be pretty hard to take down. Especially that we know through animations it will have quite a few attacks, like being able to use its legs and stomp, which yes, will be slow attacks, but I guess if you get hit by them, you're going to feel it, even as a T-Rex. It's going to have trample damage too, which is great, finally coming to the game. I also feel like all apexes should have it, because I mean, they're heavy as fuck, come on. A T-Rex is not exactly light. I would even go as far and say some bigger mid-tiers should also have trample damage. Maybe not as severe, but it should have something. So small tiers can just run around its legs and try and bite them, right? But yeah, Camara definitely welcomed. And I think it's a fantastic one to add in because it will give something new to the game. And I've said it plenty of times, no dinosaur game feels right without sauropods. Even though I still can't wait for Brachiosaurus to come in, it's still going to be fantastic to see Camara just wandering around with its head kind of being above some treetops. I know it's not too tall, so it won't be all of them, but if it's like in the highlands areas where the trees are not so tall, it's going to be nice to just see it wandering around. I actually also hope it comes as AI one day. I know Brachiosaurus probably will, but I think it'll just be really cool. I just like to see herds of these kinds of animals wandering around. But that's not really needed. That's just my personal preference, let's say. But yeah, Camara definitely needed in the game. A new type of dinosaur, which brings new types of players in. And of course, with us having stuff like T-Rex in the game, it's going to need some more food. So there's going to be a lot of probably mid-sized camas, 50%ers that are just going to be getting slaughtered. So it's going to be quite hard to probably grow one, I would imagine. Because even at 50%, they're probably going to give a lot of food. And that's probably going to be like the perfect amount of food and ratio to a Rex being able to kill you. But we shall see. Next up, we have Quetzalcoatlus. The next and last flyer to come to the game, unfortunately. I do wish there were some more flyers coming, but it is what it is. We're not here to talk about that. The king of the skies it shall be. Massive like a small plane, soaring across the skies with a shadow that's going to leave you standing there like, what the fuck was that? It will be a good ground predator too, hunting probably a lot of small tears, picking them up and just flying away with them. Or maybe not so much small tears, but should I say juveniles, to correct myself there. This is going to be a fragile one for sure, probably not taking on many apexes, but probably being able to give some sort of punch back with its peck. But either way, it's definitely going to be something interesting to see. Definitely great timing for it to come. I don't think there's really a perfect time for Quetz to come, apart from there would have been a bad time where there was probably only small tiers in the game or only small tiers and a few mid tiers. But now it's definitely a great time for it to come in. I mean, if you go up the list, we'll have Cama, Oviraptor, Bary, Kentro, Austro, Allo, T-Rex, and everything else that we already have. It will fit right in. And I do wonder what those aerial battles will be like when there'll be probably a few PTs trying to take on one Quetz, because you know that's going to happen. You can say all you want down in the comments like who would win. That's up to you guys, but I'm down to just see that happen. And I know I'm going to try for sure, because it would just be so funny. But I also just personally can't wait for Quetz to come in because it's just so cool. It's so unique looking. A giant like that can fly, just walking around. And imagine when it's going to be in a jungle, just kind of standing there. You'll probably think it's a tree if you get the right kind of pattern and the right kind of, let's say, camouflage on with your skins. You're probably going to look like just a tree. And imagine you just hear a few twigs just breaking and you just turn around and you just look up and all you see on your last moments are those glowing eyes in the dark and then just a big squawk, dead, deceased. You're done for. It's so great. I can't wait for that. That's enough on Quetz. Now let's talk about some Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus. So yeah, Para is a very popular playable. I've pretty much heard from the start of Evrima, people wanting Para to be in. It's beautiful, it's very unique looking. It's the only dinosaur we actually know the sound of in real life, which I'll play right now. So that's pretty damn cool. Hopefully it will sound similar in the Isle, even though it sounded pretty cool in Legacy, kind of like an alien, but it was pretty damn cool, come on. Now, I'm going to say something that I feel a lot of people are going to be a bit upset about, but I will brush up on it, so don't worry. Para is going to be great, mainly because it's going to be a good food source. It's going to be quite large, of course. Some people even go as far and say it's an apex. I don't view it as an apex. You can kind of call it a pseudo apex if you want, kind of in between mid-tier and apex, but it's not apex. Come on, it's not fighting apexes. That's just not going to happen. It can fight mid-tiers and probably quite well because of its weight and maybe its stomp and kicks. But even then, I feel like there's quite a few mid-tiers that would have it. Like Para's no joke, but it's definitely not something that you should go around and fighting. And I think it'll be a very big mistake if they make it quite combat ready, because it's quite a quick playable, don't forget. The last thing you want is something like a Para that's quicker than most and then it being able to really fight, because this is the Isle we're playing. Anyone that says that herbivores are calm has not been playing the Isle for the last 3 years or even 4 years. Herbivores are, if not as predatory as predators, I would even argue to say they're worse, because they're generally stronger than most carnivores. Even if it's counterpart, they're usually stronger. And what they usually lack is speed, maybe stamina sometimes. It depends. But if Diabloceratops was as fast as, let's say, an Allosaurus, it will probably wipe out most of the mid-tiers. You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Para I know it's meant to be made better in Evrima, that's why I'm saying this. It's meant to have some more attacks. It's not meant to be pretty much a meat wagon just there to be eaten, which I agree with. It'll be quite boring if it's just there to just be eaten. So it does need some sort of good defense abilities, which we know from the concept art as well. It'll be able to push and shove, be able to use its kick, it'll be able to even kick like a horse with its back legs, and you'll be able to show its weight around. Like, it's not going to be a joke. Like, if you're smaller than it, you're going to have to be careful because it's quite a big guy, you know? But that's the thing. If they make it too much, then it's going to be quite annoying to deal with. Like, I don't want to be growing an Allosaurus and then I just have a para chasing me down, hunting me down and just killing me. Because I know this game is not supposed to be completely realistic. It's meant to have like kind of realism into it, but not completely. But come on, that would be just too silly in my opinion. So I do think it's good for the food because again, it's another large herbivore that can sustain a lot of the carnivores, even T-Rex I would say, because it's massive para. But I do understand it needs to have some sort of extra time and life. But then that's kind of where the elder system comes, right? When you play herbivores, you're not meant to be going around and just hunting everyone. That kind of just started happening in a common way because of Evrima, because of the slow development and there not being much to do. So people were just like, fuck it. I'm a Paki, I'm a Tenonto, I'm a Stego, whatever you are. I'm going to go start causing mayhem. I'll become a cannibal, killing my own kind, or I'll just go around and hunting everyone else because why not? What else have I got to do? Which makes sense. No hate on those players. I mean, I do it myself. But gotta draw a line somewhere. And would this game ever kind of become a bit more on the survival aspect side where herbivores should kind of act as herbivores and carnivores will act like carnivores? I don't think it ever will. It will probably be only those few servers that have rules against that will be like that. But in reality, in the rest of the servers and the game, it will probably stay as it is. So that's where my worry is, because obviously herbivores are usually stronger and para won't be a weak one. So how will it actually be in the game? But let me know your guys' thoughts, because I know a lot of people love para and I'm not trying to shame it or put it down. I really am not. It's another playable that I can't wait to see. I would like it in the game now, realistically. It's not one of my favorites, but I just love the look of it and I think in the current roster it would work as well. Now last but not least, and certainly not least, because it's my favorite homeboy, Spinosaurus. The tip of the iceberg from me. Nothing can ever get better than it. Yes, I am a basic bitch and I love Spinosaurus, but you can't change my mind. It's just so damn awesome. Just look at it. And it's always a point of controversy because you can never get this fella right. Even in paleo talk, it changes so often that one day people will like it, one day people will not like what they apparently look like. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, remember, this game is not supposed to be realistic. These are dinosaurs created by humans, very much like in Jurassic Park. This is why in the game you have stuff like strains as well, eventually, right? Which will be like hypos. That's what it was like in Legacy at one point, and that's what it will end up being like in Evrima. Hence why we got elders, which I don't see anyone complaining about, by the way, apart from that there's no choice to have elder as a thing or not, which I agree with, by the way. There should be a choice. But anyway, enough veering off. Spinosaurus. Why will it make sense to be in the game after all these playables? And well, why Spinosaurus? Multiple reasons. It being another apex on land that's a predator, something to combat T-Rex. Yes, T-Rex will probably be stronger, definitely have a much heavier bite force, but Spinosaurus in Evrima, just like in Legacy, won't be something that'll be so fragile. It'll be something that I think T-Rex will also watch out for, as well as Spinosaurus will watch out for. And now that also you have the waters, because Spinosaurus of course is semi-aquatic, and in Evrima you have Deinosuchus, so Spinosaurus will be very fun to play. You have fun literally on land and in water. You have things to fight anywhere you go, danger at every single place you visit. And on top of that, also you will be the danger at every place you visit. You'll be able to utilize your claws as well, so you can grapple a bit as Spinosaurus. Just so many ways that you'll be able to play it. Probably even a little bit like a Deinosuchus where you can lunge out of water, and that's just basing it on the concept art here, the poor Bepes. And like I've mentioned before, the Spinosaurus has a true fuck you attitude. I mean, if you look at the whole concept art, it's just it absolutely demolishing stuff, ripping them in half, scaring Bepes, slapping shit up. Like, it doesn't care. It's just angry. It has anger issues, and I'm all about that. I'm sure even T-Rex will tell it, bro, chill. But jokes aside, why will it make sense? Apart from it, of course, being another apex, it will help the ecosystem. It will help level it out a bit more, but now you have a transition apex predator. Not just the waters like you have Deinosuchus, not just the land as you have Tyrannosaurus Rex, but now you have someone that can kind of take care of both. You're going to have more action in the water, more action coming out of the water at you if you're not careful, which will probably make the waterways more dangerous, apart from those very tiny ponds in the jungle that you find here and there. Of course, no Spinosaurus is going to be hiding in that, but everywhere else that's deep enough is going to be that much more scarier. So I'm quite happy with this. I wouldn't really change much. In fact, if I'm changing anything, that's just me nitpicking. I think this is a really good roster. Like I said at the beginning, it's definitely the best roster we have yet. Now, yes, I know technically more than half of this roster we already knew about, but we didn't quite know what was coming when. I think most of us knew Allosaurus was going to come first. Some probably thought even Austroraptor, but now we know for sure what's coming when, unless the devs, as usual, change their mind. But let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. Are you happy with what's coming? Would you have preferred something to replace something else? And yeah, apart from that, you guys have a great day and peace.